You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain. How many young mouths do you think have been washed out with soap because they were heard to utter a profanity that included the word God? I've certainly been in the company of people, and I'm sure you have too, who frown on anyone saying, "Oh God," or "Oh my God." In fact, on social media, where others might type out the totally common OMG, I opt for the less controversial OM gosh, so as not to offend anyone in that very public forum. It's been recently reported that a religious conservative is putting together a new free speech website, an alternative to Twitter, where you can say almost anything you want. It's free speech after all. But one of the things you won't be able to do is take the Lord's name in vain. But this does raise an interesting question. Is that what this commandment is about? Is it about cursing and profanity? Or is it about something else entirely? So one theory is that it's about misusing the name of God, abusing the name of God, and thus the reason for all the washing young mouths out with soap. Another theory is that it's about swearing that something is true in the name of God when it isn't true. In other words, using the name of God to make a false statement, to lie. For millennia, the Jewish people have declared that any use of the divine name is an abuse of the name. In many ancient Hebrew documents, and even ancient versions of the Hebrew Bible, when the name of God shows up, it is written in a large font style that sticks out completely from everything else around it, so that anyone who is reading from the text won't slip up and actually read the name. In fact, in place of uttering the name of God, they will use the Hebrew word Hashem, which simply means the name. Or they'll use another word, Adonai, which simply means Lord. Perhaps you've seen a modern Jewish writer write out the word God like this, so as to protect the word itself. This whole line of thinking stems from the idea that any use of God's name by our human unclean lips is a desecration of the name of God. It says that God's very name is sacred, so sacred that it needs protecting. Here's a question to think about. What do you think taking the Lord's name in vain means?